the party of our late founding father, and indeed also on behalf of all the progressive political parties, may I yet again convey my deepest heartfelt condolences to the Mugabe family, especially Amai Grace Mugabe and the children, on this sad bereavement. We emphasize with you, it is our loss together. Allow me to thank the former First Lady, Her Excellency Amai Grace Mugabe and the family, for looking after and caring for our commander during his illness, right through to the end. The fortitude, commitment, and love you exemplified is admirable and should forever be emulated. Tinotenda mai siyabonga mama. Be rest assured that you will continue to have my support and that of my government in these moments of grief. Comrades and friends, the late founding father, Comrade Mugabe, was a great scholar, a thinker, a teacher, and above all, a true African. He taught a generation, led a nation, inspired a continent, spoke for the oppressed, and defined the politics and economics of an epoch. The man who lies before us was for years our leader, our commander, mentor, and our president, both in the party and in government. Among the mourners gathered here are many fellow comrades from the region and continent and the world over, who went and fought alongside our dearly departed father. They are elder statesmen, presidents and prime ministers, great men and women, young and old, as well as dignitaries from all corners of the world, pulled here by the demise of this colossal comrade Robert Gabriel Mugabe. Today, we all grieve together, filling the void he has left behind. We are humbled by your presence here to mourn with us. We are equally comforted by the many more who could not be with us physically, but sent moving tributes and expressed their deepest condolences. For many years and generations to come, we shall continue to draw inspiration from the life, the leadership, the courage, valor, and the bravery of this great man we here fondly called Gushungo, Gushungo, Gushungo. A true statesman who resolutely defended our country throughout his life. The founding president of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Mzee Kenneth David Kaunda, and Comrade Mugabe were the two only survivors from the generation of leaders of the frontline states, the rest having passed on, such as the late Comrades Agostino Neto of Angola, Cesare Khama of Botswana, Samora Moses Machel of Mozambique, and Julius Mwalimu Kambarage Nyerere of Tanzania. Now, Mzee Kenneth David Kaunda remains alone. May the good Lord continue to watch over him. These gallant men will forever remain the symbol of Africa's struggles for independence and statehood. It is now incumbent on us who remain in the land of the living to carry on the rich heritage they bequeathed to us. I want to thank you all who continue to console our nation, sharing our grief. Your presence in such huge numbers today and your kind words of comfort from across nations and continents is solace and a strong statement. A statement which exposes a lie heavily sponsored by a retrogressive narrative falsely framing the late comrade Mugabe, giving him many false names, routinely and systematically vilifying him. But today, the truth is laid bare and open. We honor and remember our late African icon in our special own way, demonstrating that he had many friends, allies, and followers. As he moves on from this life into another, his star rises. It shines high and bright. We who remain shall continue to hear his rich, brave, defiant, and inspiring voice, which we grew accustomed to on various international platforms beyond his grave, encouraging and warning us to be vigilant and astute, always guarding and protecting our freedom, our independence, and indeed our God-given resources. As Africa moves further towards integration and economic prosperity, let us all stand ready to take up the cause which the generation of our late commander fought for. Let us boldly play our part in setting the wrongs of the world right. We must continue to challenge an unfair world, opposing injustice, racism, and all forms of oppression of man by man. As Zimbabwe, we shall ride on the education and high literacy levels bequeathed to us by our late great teacher and educator. As a visionary, he understood the importance of a solid education as well as science and technology in the future world. As Africa, let us find our niche within the fast unfolding fourth industrial revolution, leveraging on our youthful populations, abundant, untapped natural resources, and expansive combined market. We dare not be left behind. Our destiny is in our hands. The late Comrade Mugabe and other founding fathers of our continent played their part. Let us now play our part. Comrades, the policies of our late revolutionary icon with regards to peace and security were not only defining in ensuring the territorial integrity of our great country, but had a far-reaching impact on the region and the continent as a whole. His strong stance on the need to protect and preserve African independence was evident within the frontline states during the fight against apartheid and in the management, prevention, and resolution of conflicts on the continent at large. To this day, the esteemed reputation of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces on the international peace and security platform is evident by their successful participation in various United Nations missions are a result of the unquestionable leadership of our late former president. As Africa boldly operationalizes the African Continental Free Trade Area, let us be emboldened by the ideals of the late Comrade Mugabe, who was one of the consistent champions of African unity, industrialization, intra-Africa trade, as well as regional and continental integration. Without peace and security on the continent, sustainable economic development will be elusive. Let us therefore, as children of this continent, protect the love, the peace, the harmony, and the unity that our founding fathers worked so hard to attain. As Africa rises, booms, and takes its rightful place as a powerhouse on the world arena, there is no place for hate, division, and disunity among us within the continent. This was the legacy the late Comrade Robert Mugabe imparted and leaves behind for us. Your Excellencies, heads of government, comrades and friends, as we mourn this great son of Africa, we also remember and celebrate his tenacious and fearless adherence to principles. Quoting the late Kwame Nkrumah, he constantly reminded us that, and I quote, "Principles should never be sacrificed on the altar of expediency," end of quote. Under the leadership and guidance of our iconic leader, we fought for democracy and universal adult suffrage. My government will continue to consolidate, deepen, and entrench democratic tenets, constitutionalism, and the rule of law, always guiding our peace, our unity, and our stability. Beyond political independence, he boldly tackled the age-old national question that is of our land, which had been occupied by settlers for over a century. To him, this was the grievance of all grievances of our people. As a result of his unflinching stance, the land has now been reunited with the people, and the people have now been united with their land. Today, over 665,000 families have benefited from the land reform program, which our revolutionary icon led from the front. Allow me to state that our land reform will never be reversed. It is sacred, complete, and finished. We remain firm and unshakable on this matter. Now the challenge for us is to be productive as we modernize and mechanize our agricultural processes. We must equally use our land sustainably, be it in agriculture, mining, tourism, so that we bequeath it to our future generations. Distinguished guests, comrades, and friends, our late former president challenged a faulty world where mighty selfish thought itself right. He challenged the great powers and a deep vested global interest. Our great leader asserted a key principle of the United Nations Charter, which asserts the sovereign equality of nations and proclaims the inalienable rights of nations, big and small, strong and weak. For that boldness, he was repaid through illegal, ruinous and spiteful sanctions, which our country languishes under to this day. As we bid our founding father farewell, our resolve as a people is not broken. More than ever before, we are determined to grow our economy and improve the quality of life of our people. We are moving our country forward along the path of sustainable development towards a modern, industrialized and prosperous society, free from poverty and corruption. Indeed, our success is inevitable, building on the foundations laid by our veteran leaders, such as the late Comrade Mugabe. We will constantly reform and improve our social, economic and political systems and institutions. Putting the interests of our great country first, we will continuously reconcile the national and global realities, informed and guided by the ever-changing aspirations of our people. Zimbabwe is open for business. We are in transition and welcome investments. In doing so, we seek to buttress and augment our sovereign independence through partnerships founded on mutual respect. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the heritage left us by our founding father is that of a peaceful world where nations trade and cooperate for the collective good and a shared future. My government shall play its part in the achievement of world peace, as well as an empowered, integrated and economically prosperous Africa. All guns on the continent must be silenced. Our people must have adequate food and shelter, health, water and sanitation. The women, the youth and those with disabilities must be empowered and have equal access to opportunities so that they thrive and realize their full potential in their mother country. Under the Second Republic, we announced a policy of engagement and re-engagement. The former to foster relations with countries we had not related to in the past, and the latter in respect of those nations which had disengaged with us. Our arms remain stretched out with a genuine heart of friendship and cooperation. There is no place in our modern world for unilateral punitive sanctions imposed in pursuit of selfish interests, undue influence and colonial time expansionism. As we mourn our revolutionary icon, we call for the unconditional and immediate lifting of the sanctions imposed on us. We invite the world to wake and walk with us into a brighter future for our people, our region and our continent. A Zimbabwe free of the albatross of sanctions is indeed of greater benefit to the world. We thank SADC, the African Union and the progressive world for standing with us throughout these years of immense hardships under sanctions. We stand emboldened by the recent declaration by SADC, setting aside the 25th of October as a day to call for the unconditional removal of the illegal sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe. May the world honor the late Comrade Mugabe by ensuring that sanctions encumbering Zimbabwe are immediately removed. We say Give our country a rebirth and a new start. Remove sanctions now. We do not deserve them. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, comrades and friends, allow me once again to thank you all, you who have come to mourn with us and give our founding father and former president such a resounding send-off. Zimbabwe will forever remember this grand gesture of solidarity and friendship. We will continue to count on you, your support, in our quest to leapfrog our development, grow our economy, and improve the quality of life of our people. Though we may be praised on every side, we are not crushed. Although perplexed, we are not in despair. Tomorrow is a brighter day. Weeping may last for the night, but joy comes in the morning. As we say our goodbyes to our late great national hero and the son of the continent, Zimbabwe shall always stand with Africa and for what is right. This is our tribute to our great liberator, founding father, teacher and empowerer, the late comrade Gabriel Mugabe. As we prepare for his interment, we continue to pray that the Almighty God rests his soul in eternal peace. We shall remain guided by the Mugabe family as we go forward. God bless you all. God bless Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Let them sing. Thank you. Thank you, choir. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the comforting and inspiring speech. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, it is now time for body viewing by our distinguished guests. As the body viewing goes on, Your Excellency, the choir will sing soft music. Your Excellency, body viewing will be done in the following order. First, former First Lady Amai Grace Mugabe, representing the family. Then comes His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Emerson Mnangagwa, followed by heads of state, followed by vice presidents, followed by former heads of states, followed by heads of delegation, followed by African Union Commission representative, followed by SADC Executive Secretary, followed by COMESA Secretary General, and then followed the COMESA Secretary General, followed by our service chiefs led by CDF. I thank you. Choir, please. I accept the third dignitaries for the board viewing will be heads of state and their excellencies, the prime ministers who are among us. Thank you very much. Siyabonga, tinotenda. Choir, excuse me please, choir. Leaders, I'm advised that leaders of other political parties who are here with us can also do the board viewing. Leaders of other political parties who are here can also participate in the board viewing. Thank you. Choir, please. Choir. Your Excellency, we now move to the next stage of our program, which is the last respect national salute and 21 gun salute and fly past. Thank you. May we all rise.
We are now seeing the parade preparing for the last respect. The last and highest form of respect is a national salute, where we will see the parade presenting arms, and at the same time, the Zimbabwe National Army Artillery Brigade delivering 21 gun salute, while the Air Force of Zimbabwe, K-8 jets from number 2 squadron execute a fly past. This is the highest and last respect for the late former president and national hero, Comrade R.G. Mugabe.
It's not me. It's not me. It's not. Your Excellency, the next item on the agenda for today's program is the release of 95 doves of peace. Please, can we go ahead with the release of the doves? 95 doves, each representing the year our former president lived. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, and all the Excellencies who are here today with us. I wish to thank you all for coming to this important national event which will remain etched in our memory. May I, however, request that you all remain in your respective positions until the cortege and all the dignitaries have left the stadium. Ngiyalibonga lonke, ndinokuthenga Emerson. I thank you.
A special announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Once His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe and his entourage have left, our foreign guests, may you please remain seated. You will be guided accordingly as you leave for your vehicles. Let's take note. Thank you.